Welcome back to Next Bike World, the channel where we dive deep into the latest motorcycles, breaking down their features, design, performance, and everything you need to know before you ride or buy. Today, we're taking a detailed look at one of the most accessible and adventurous motorcycles in Royal Enfield's lineup, the 2025 Royal Enfield Scram 411. This machine has been built for riders who want a mix of rugged capability, everyday practicality, and that unmistakable Royal Enfield charm. Whether you're a city commuter who loves style, or a weekend explorer who occasionally heads off the beaten track, the Scram 411 is designed to deliver a versatile riding experience at a price point that keeps it within reach of most enthusiasts. Let's start by understanding what this bike really is. The Scram 411 is essentially the more urban, street-focused sibling of the famous Himalayan adventure bike. Royal Enfield realized that not every rider needs the full-on off-road setup of the Himalayan, and some prefer a motorcycle that's more manageable, lighter on its feet, and stylish enough for the city streets, but still capable when the road disappears. That's exactly where the Scram 411 comes in. It's part scrambler, part commuter, and part adventure bike. The 2025 model carries forward this philosophy but refines it further, with updates to design, comfort, and build quality. At the heart of the 2025 Scram 411 sits Royal Enfield's proven 411cc, single-cylinder, air and oil-cooled engine. This is the same long-stroke motor we've seen in the Himalayan, tuned for strong low and mid-range torque. It produces around 24.3 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 32 Nm of torque at 4,500 RPM. Now, these numbers might not sound groundbreaking when compared to other motorcycles in the segment, but the magic lies in the way this engine delivers power. It's not about high-rev thrills instead, it's about usable, tractable torque that makes city riding effortless and off-road jaunts manageable. The motor is designed to be forgiving, smooth, and reliable, making it a perfect companion for new riders as well as experienced ones who just want a stress-free ride. One of the highlights of the Scram 411 has always been its riding comfort, and the 2025 version continues to shine in this department. The bike features a comfortable upright seating posture, wide handlebars for easy control, and a relatively low seat height of about 795 mm, which makes it accessible to a wide range of riders. The suspension setup is also tuned to absorb rough city roads and occasional trails with ease. At the front, you get 41 mm telescopic forks with 190 mm of travel, while the rear features a monoshock with 180 mm of travel. This combination strikes a great balance between urban rideability and mild off-road confidence. When it comes to handling, Royal Enfield has slightly reworked the ergonomics to make the bike feel lighter and more agile than its adventure sibling. The 19-inch front wheel and 17-inch rear wheel setup give it a scrambler-inspired stance while still offering decent stability over uneven surfaces. Dual-purpose tires ensure you're ready for both tarmac and dirt, though it leans more toward road use compared to the Himalayan's full-on adventure orientation. Braking duties are handled by a 300 mm disc up front and a 240 mm disc at the rear, with dual-channel ABS coming as standard. The braking performance is adequate for the class, offering predictable stopping power with good feedback at the lever. Now, let's talk design. Because the Scram 411 is not just about capability, it's about style too. Royal Enfield has given the Scram a rugged yet minimalist look, perfect for riders who want a motorcycle that turns heads but doesn't scream adventure bike. The 2025 model gets fresh paint schemes and graphics, adding more youthful energy to the design. The small headlamp cowl, the sculpted fuel tank, the single-piece seat, and the stripped-back rear all give it that scrambler DNA. It looks tougher than a standard road bike but more approachable than a full-sized adverb. This balance is what makes it appealing to riders who want one bike that can do it all. Another strong point for the Scram 411 is its simplicity. Royal Enfield has kept the design straightforward, avoiding unnecessary electronic gimmicks. You get a semi-digital instrument cluster with an analog speedometer and a digital display that shows trip data, fuel gauge, and gear position. On higher trims, you also get Royal Enfield's Dripper navigation system, which uses Google Maps data to provide turn-by-turn navigation through a Bluetooth-connected smartphone. It's a handy feature for urban riders who don't want to constantly pull out their phones while commuting. Fuel efficiency is another area where the Scram 411 impresses. Thanks to its relaxed engine tuning, it can deliver around 30 to 35 kilometers per liter, depending on how and where you ride. Combine that with a 15-liter fuel tank, and you're looking at a range that comfortably crosses 400 kilometers before needing a refill. That makes it a very practical option not only for daily commutes but also for longer weekend getaways. Now, let's touch on one of the most important factors for many buyers: the price. In 2025, the Royal Enfield Scram 411 is priced at around $5,400 in the US market, and approximately a superscript 12.4 Lakh X showroom in India. At this price point, it offers fantastic value for money. You're getting a motorcycle with proven reliability, decent performance, comfortable ergonomics, and genuine go-anywhere potential, without breaking the bank. It's competitively priced against other scramblers and entry-level adventure bikes, and when you factor in Royal Enfield's widespread service network and affordable maintenance, it becomes an even more attractive package. Unique selling points? Well, first, the Scram 411 offers that rare mix of retro charm and modern functionality. While many motorcycles in this price range either lean too heavily on flashy electronics or cut corners on build quality, the Scram delivers a raw, engaging riding experience with solid build and simple mechanics. Second, it's one of the most accessible bikes for riders who want to dip their toes into adventure or scrambler-style riding without committing to a heavier, more intimidating motorcycle. And third, the Royal Enfield brand itself carries an emotional weight of heritage, community, and that classic thumb from the engine, which makes every ride feel a little more special. Of course, no bike is perfect, and the Scram 411 does have its limitations. With just over 24 horsepower, it's not going to win any drag races, and highway overtakes require some planning. It's happiest cruising between 90 to 100 kilometers per hour rather than pushing towards triple-digit speeds for long stretches. But honestly, that's part of its charm. This bike isn't about rushing, it's about enjoying the journey, soaking in the scenery, and feeling connected to the road. So, who is the 2025 Royal Enfield Scram 411 for? If you're a beginner looking for your first big motorcycle, this is a very forgiving and confidence-inspiring choice. If you're a commuter who wants something practical but with rugged personality, this bike will serve you well. And if you're a seasoned rider who just wants a simple, affordable machine to handle everyday duties while still being fun on weekend adventures, the Scram 411 ticks all the boxes. To wrap things up, the 2025 Royal Enfield Scram 411 may not be the most powerful or technologically advanced motorcycle in its segment, but it nails the basics with style. It's versatile, comfortable, reliable, and most importantly, fun to ride. It's a motorcycle that doesn't try too hard, yet manages to stand out by being authentic. In a world where bikes are becoming increasingly complex, the Scram 411 keeps things refreshingly simple, and that's its biggest strength. Thanks for watching today's review on Next Bike World. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2025 Royal Enfield Scram 411, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming motorcycle reviews. Until next time, ride safe, explore often, and remember, every road has a story waiting to be discovered.